Good afternoon, everyone. Dan and I are up here in central Queensland about to start another trap line, and a lot of people will recognise this gully. This is the first gully, and you see on a previous trapping run there, I caught like 4 or 5, 6 dogs in this gully. It's going to be interesting this time just to see what sign that we've got here. So we'll just go out and have a bit of a look and to see if there's been any dogs back in the last few days. I'm croaking away terribly here with this chest infection, but anyway, bear with me, everyone. You'll understand me one way or the other. It looks like there's been a truck through here today. Yeah. So it'd be hard to see fresh sign. I have to look off the side of the tracks. If that's the truck tracks, I'll look for fresh sign through here. And that could be a dog there. Yep, there's a dog right there. That's a dog. Sit down, you. See that, Dan? Mm-hmm. So there's been dogs in here. This is where I caught them last time. It was over here on that drag. I caught one up on this side, on this drag. So I'll set again here. I'll probably put a trail camera on one of these trees. Maybe that tree there, put a trail camera on. Right. So what we have, excuse me, what we have here is a place where Mossy comes straight along and she marked over here, a big mark, sniffing at this tussock. And marked it, so I've put the trap out here just at a good distance where a dog can stand and sniff at it. And she marked, and then she went around, she came back and she stood right there. It's not to say that the dog that comes in, if a dog comes in, it's going to do the same thing. Probably that's what I'll try and address a little bit in this clip. That what I'm running up against, there's a lot of people say, oh, you're doing it wrong, Clark, you're doing it wrong, right? From, you should be wearing gloves, Clark. You won't catch dogs without gloves. Well, I catch dogs without gloves. Oh, you should have put it there, you should have done this. It's all hypothetical. It's all hypothetical. I could put a trap in here and not catch a dog here for a week. So somebody might look here and say, oh, well, you didn't catch a dog because you didn't wear gloves. And in their own mind, that is reasonable, and that's the reason you didn't catch the dog. The truth be known, there might not have been a dog walk past here, or the dog that could have walked here went over here and got caught in this trap, you know, a minute before. So many things. You could put a stepping stick there, and that makes that dog step there. You can arrange bushes and get it to step in the right place, but if you catch it somewhere else, it's never going to get there. So how do you know what actually is the truth and what isn't? It's all subjective. It's all hypothetical. Now, what I do believe strongly, excuse me, what I do believe strongly is that if you've got a dog, say 2 dogs come in here, and one comes straight in and gets caught, bang. Now I've caught another dog the next night in the same trap, and I think people saw it here. We've got 3 dogs in the one set pattern, 2 in the one trap, and then 1 in another trap that I set beside it in like 3 nights. Bang, bang, bang. Now those traps weren't boiled, they weren't waxed, they had nothing done with them between it. So they'd had the scent of the other dog on them. There would have been, if there's any stress, urine, me handling them without gloves, all the rest of it. Those traps, nothing had been done with them. So you can imagine those traps would have been, if we want to say unsterile, they would have been unsterile. And they still caught dog after dog. So it's not just your hands on your trap. Now, again, I'm using bare hands. Before I start, when I'm still in the vehicle, I'll make sure there's no oil coming out of my hands. Dust them down. When I'm putting the dirt in here, I'm dusting them down. I dust my hands off, earth them down before I touch my traps. And I still catch dogs. So there's a lot more to it. I do think though, when you get a scratcher, a trap scratcher, it's more that it was standing beside this one when it saw that piece of steel come out of the ground with a woof of dust. And you'll see it on some of my clips there. There's a dog put its foot in the trap and there'll be a woof of dust up as that trap explodes out of the ground. Now, this dog's standing looking at it, it's not dumb. And it's got an idea that when it was last looking at that patch of ground, it exploded. And it comes back here this time and looks in the same place. I'm sure there's something clicking in that dog's head to think that, is that ground going to explode on me? So it's not just the smell of the trap. A lot of the time it's the memory encoded in that dog. And it'll go, I wonder whether something's here. Oh, yes. And it could be just like here, I've got disturbed dirt. That's dirt from down the bottom layer. Now, maybe I shouldn't have put it up the top. I'll dust it over with other dust from the middle of the road like this. And I'll try and dust over the top of it. So I don't leave deep dirt on the top, because I'm sure a dog would come along and go, that's disturbed dirt. And if it registers that with a trap coming out of the ground, that could be enough to make it scratch. So right, what we'll do, I'll set these other ones, I'll set 3 in this pattern. I'll put a camera up here and let's work on some of the myths, the beliefs that are there that I don't really prescribe to. And let's see if we can debunk a few of them. It's like Mythbusters, McGhie style. Okay, just rolled into the scratcher set. This is where we've caught quite a few dogs on this little rise here, the little point of the hill. But you can't see any sign here at all today. It's just interesting. I'll put Mossy out and see what she thinks. Mossy, off. Trumpy, Trumpy, come on, quick, Trumpy, Trumpy. Trumpy, come on, get out of the truck. Come on, Trumpy. Trumpy, quick. Trumpy, you can do it. Come on, Trumpy. Come on. Make the jump. Oh, roll. Marking over there, are you? Good girl. So you'll be let out. Come on. That's that old carcass we had here last time. Mm-hmm. Hey, Trumpy, no, don't you bring back junk. Trumpy, sit. You're a troublemaker. Unfortunately, this is what the landowners are facing here now, that it's been pretty dry, it's been pretty rank. They haven't had the rain, and some of these cows are dropping calves, and the calves are pretty weak. They're easy targets. These cows here are right beside the molasses trough, so there's fortified molasses and dry feed. They're doing everything they can to keep these cattle in top order, but you know, you get a little calf born like that, you know, we don't need dogs here now. We do not need dogs on these calves. Yeah, if they miss out on rain for the next 2 months, things are going to be grim. Righto, we come down into the gully here with the low hanging tree, It's too low this time, we can't get through it. So we're actually going to go back and check on the other side. There's a grader working on the line, just doing up the tracks, and we might put a few traps in on that fresh turned dirt. We let Trumpy out for a bit of a wander, and he straight away brought a little bit of calf skin up, a bit of dead calf skin, and so I'm using it with a little bit of bitch's urine. Just a trap set in the sand there, nice and easy.
Do you want me in there, Clark?
You can if you want.
Yeah?
Go by back leg. That's big.
Good boys.
Hey. Well done.
Yeah.
A rabbit and a pig.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Looks like they're laughing.
Yeah. No water. When we were here last time, there was water here. Okay, we put one there on the right-hand side with that little dead pig, little boar, and one on the other side on that tree. It'd be great to pick a dog up. Morning, Brandon. How are you? Morty. Well, I'm feeling a little bit better this morning and my voice is a little bit better, so that's great. I can get back into action. Here's our humble little camp. It's set on the side of a beautiful little creek, and yeah, all we need unless we get a thunderstorm. Up here behind me is a bush lemon tree. Now this one I've already taken 2 down and used them to help with my sinuses. And they're beautiful. They're not an orange. They're not as nice to eat as an orange, but they've got a fair bit of horsepower to them. But beautiful bush lemon. I always look for these literally everywhere along the creeks. There's not thousands of trees, but if you know where to look, you'll find a bush lemon. It's a bit of a luxury having a gate opener, a goppy, a gate opening person, I should say. So a bit of a luxury while I'm feeling sick and a bit of an invalid, you know. It's good while I'm an invalid, you're helping me.
Good.
He's just got to get his language right. I've got to teach him Aussie. I've got to teach him how to spit and how to swear.
It's getting hard, but I think I will get it.
So what I'm looking for this morning are the tracks on the road. Now we had a drag behind us yesterday evening, and we dragged all the way through here. We left a scent on the road, a food-based scent. And I say to people, it's just like if you go out in the ocean and you tip blood in the water, what'll happen? The sharks will come. The sharks will follow along that blood trail. And that's the way you get your sharks. Exactly the same here with dingoes. Let's get a trail, let's get a scent trail, get those sharks on the line, we'll catch them. Welcome to the world, Snack Pack. Right, well, that's what I was looking for, a whole bunch of brand new calves. So we've come along this track here, about probably 400 or 500 metres from where all the calves, well, around the lick containers, around the molasses. Fallen tree here on the side of the road. I think that might be a good place to get a dog to come into and keep the calves away from the traps. So I might set this up with a squeaker, a couple of traps, and let's just see what comes past here. Probably put a camera on here as well and see if we've got any dogs using this track. We can but try. Goofballs. Brandon, you gonna show me where, bud? Hunt him up, hunt him up. That's a good spot. Bungie's gone there too. What that sort of says to me is that that tree over there is probably like an old mark. There was scent on it enough to make, both dogs go and sniff it, but not, I think, fresh to really make them really interested, but they both sniffed it. And then he's come back over here and they've shown interest in that, and they peed on that tussock. So I think I'll put one there as just out to one side, good boy. One there, they're marking enough, and one over here. Righto, at last we've got some dog tracks. Isn't this pretty? That's been a dog there. See? He's right up around that tree. He's marked that tree. Dog in there. See that? That's a real good one. See? Fresh. Fresh. Finally, we're on a fresh sign. This is this morning. Righto, I've ended up with two traps. One just basically here straight on the side of this tree, and one on that pile of dirt. So it doesn't matter which one fired first. If there was two dogs here or more, you should get a second one in this other side. We've been coming along here trying to find a place to put a trap in, and there's dozens of really good places, but the cattle are walking right down this road between the molasses and the water there, and another lot of molasses and water down here. I think any dogs that are coming through, we're doing the same thing. So I've been looking for a spot that you might be able to catch a dog but not get wrecked by cattle. This spot here, where this bank is, here by this tree, I think it's a good place to put a trap right on top of the bank and put a lure way up the tree that a cow could stand here and sniff at it. But if a dog wanted to lick it or something like that, I'll either use some of that calf, like fresh calf poo, or some fat, something to get the dog to go right up on top of that bank. Looks like we've got a dead calf here. Okay. What it looks like to me is that they've chewed his tail off, and when they've chewed his tail, it's given him access to the back, and they've just chewed the feed out of his back. Now that's last night. Now, it's not wedge-tail eagle because we would have seen them kicking around here. That's happened during the night. There's no bird crap on the ground. So if you get an eagle on them, there's streaks of white bird crap. None. This is dog. So what I'm going to do is shift this calf carcass over to the corner of this dam paddock here. The dam paddock is locked up so the cattle can't get in it. And I'll put that calf just through the inside and probably set 2 or 3 traps there. Hands up, who's a pack of murderers and thieves? You? You? Hey? Liars and murderers and thieves. Look at you. Righto, let's set up on this calf. What we'll do is we'll drag this little guy through the fence. Mm-hmm. I'll set one up over here, on near that tree. Probably put the calf out here in the middle. I'll set one there, probably another one over there, another one on that tree over there probably, sort of a couple of marking spots. And we'll put 3 traps in here. This looks like the work of just one single dog, but it was only last night, so it's a pretty big chance that it'll be back. We've only shifted the calf about, 50 metres from where we found it, where it'd been killed. And definitely, you look at the hooves on this young guy, they're all worn, so this wasn't a calf that just died. It's in good order, and it's all scarred around the head where it's been probably run into something. It's definitely a dog kill. I called up the doctors yesterday and said I'd go in and try and get some antibiotics for this chest infection. And they said, oh, you've got to wear a mask there. I don't do masks. So masks are for crooks. Your mob, Poncho Villa mob. That's with a mask on. Hey?
Yeah, sort of bang.
Yeah, you look good with a mask. Yeah, good. And I said, no, I don't do masks, so I don't get to see a doctor. My choice, I suppose. I call it extortion. If you don't do this, you can't get medical attention. Right on. Ever get the feeling you're getting looked at? There's a lot of koalas in this area. Righto, I was busy setting up these 3 traps here around this little calf. I wonder what this stink was. There's a real stink going on here somewhere. Anyway, I looked around. And look what I got here. I've got a dead koala bear. Now I know the experts out there will be saying, it's not a bear, Clark, it's just a koala. Well, I grew up calling them bears and they're going to stay as bloody bears. Okay? It's Aussie slang. Get used to it. Get over it. Don't melt away, right? It's a dead bear. And we saw another one this morning. And it's got the wet butt on it that they usually get when they get the chlamydia and they get the disease. And it's probably end up the same way as this one. Now, oftentimes what happens to them, they get on the ground, they're sick, they're getting hungry, and a wedge-tail eagle or a dingo will kill them. So, say something like a dog killing them is a secondary oftentimes. Usually they're sick. Now, people worry about the few numbers of koalas that we've got, and it certainly is something to be concerned of. But when my granddad was a boy, he was shooting koalas for 6 months of skin, and people would be horrified to know that he shot thousands of them to feed the family. And he told my mum, he told me, she said there was a koala in every tree. I said there were so many of them, it was unbelievable. In some areas there was a koala in every tree. So they were shooting them and selling the skins. Now, people say, oh yeah, the hunters shot them out, but they didn't. What they saw was the animals became sick, and they said they were finding them lying dead everywhere under trees and just died by the thousands or hundreds of thousands. And they stopped shooting them because there wasn't enough bears. And oftentimes this is just a correction that nature does. Nature will have its way of bringing everything back into balance. So maybe this is part of it here too with this poor old bear. We'll have to teach you some Aussie songs. Come on, I come from the land down under.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
You were 6'4", I'm from myself. This said it's become my language. You just smile like
give me a Vegemite sandwich.
Oh, I come from the world I know.
Let's show you, mate. They won't, not less one. Just, they won't hold him. Yo, you have to yell.
Off!
Yo.
Off! Off! Off, guys! Off! Off!
Good dog, good boy, good boy. Good boy.
Bueno, Agustí, dime a veure això que te pareix. Estic aquí con Clark i a veurem, a nice pig, un buen cerdo i... Dime què te pareix, el segon dia que porta així.
Hey, fat boy. So it's 3 bears for the day. We haven't been looking